news, everyone. Good news. I'm not dead. Welcome to Still Scrolling, the best podcast on the airwaves. I'm Justin.
And I'm Derek.
And I'm Stefania.
And we are not alone this episode. You know, we have a lot to talk about with the Super Bowl and all the trailers and all the superhero stuff that is happening this week. So we had to call in the big guns. So we called the amazing, the incredible, the undefeated fanboy fighter, Fantastic Frankey. Welcome to the show.
I'm so excited. We're going to have a fun time.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this. I was a little worried that you wouldn't return my call because she's big now. If you don't know Frankie, if you're not following Frankie, please follow Frankie. I heard she's going to be in Superman. That's what I heard.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's
news to me. That's fire.
Frankie's on the Justice League at this point.
I would no. I'm not gonna hold you, and I'm not quiet about it. I'm definitely pushing to get a cameo on something. Maybe lanterns. I could squeeze something in.
Okay. Well, describe to the audience what would be your ideal cameo in a DC project. What would you be doing?
Definitely lanterns.
Okay.
I want to complain to Aaron Pierre, and I want him to be like, "I'll take care of it."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
can see it. I can see it.
I want to be an annoyed worker. It's something, right? Like they crash into the building. I'm like, I gotta clean this up. Like, I just want them to crash into my world or be a part of my world just for a second, and then they see my face, and I like hold for applause like a sitcom, and then the movie or the show continues.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I can't wait to see your cameo in Lanterns. You heard it here first. We got the exclusive, guys. We got the exclusive. But I'm so excited to talk about what we're talking about this week because perhaps you didn't hear a big thing happened on Sunday when this is released on a Tuesday. But I don't know if you guys heard of a little game of American football that happened. The Superb Owl. That's what my notes say. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but we're talking about a bigger bird because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I know we took some bets. Did you guys do you guys remember what the bets we took the last time we talked about the Super Bowl? Who won? I think Stefania won, if I'm not mistaken.
I won of who was going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think we took bets afterwards, though, of who was going to win.
We didn't? Missed mistake.
I don't remember that, no.
Dang.
I did want Eagles to win, though.
Okay, Eagles fan. Derek, who are you rooting for?
Eagles. I
All
think.
right, good.
I
we
think
have
the fall from grace.
Frankie,
the Chiefs' fall from grace is.
Who would you root for?
I did root for the Eagles only because they're next door. But I did think it was cool because I heard I'm just learning about football. And I heard the drama around football. Like, it's like watching wrestling. And someone said, a sports commentator was like, if the Chiefs win this Super Bowl, there's no telling when they'll ever lose again. And that sounded so fucking ill to me. I was like, yo, the music got low. It got really serious in there. And they were like, we won't be able to stop them ever again. I was like, football is lit. I didn't know they had all these storylines going on. And I found out so much about football after and all the drama they do. Like, the Green Bay Packers leave their stadium open so that it snows in there and people who are not from Green Bay are fucking freezing, including the players. That's lit. Like, that's some Stark stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so,
It reminds me of when they changed the battlefield in Pokemon, where they were like...
Seriously. Seriously. New Orleans is hot and sweaty, and it's probably hard to breathe in when you're, like, in all that equipment, but the players from there are probably more... It's kind of ill. But that being said, Jalen Hurts is too fine to root against. Bradley Cooper gave the okay, and so the Eagles was my choice.
Like, I forgot Bradley Cooper was a Phillies fan, and then I remembered Silver Linings Playbook exists.
I was like, how could you forget?
I was like, yeah, but yeah, I was really rooting for Abbott Elementary because I'm glad those teachers are going to have a great Monday episode of after Super Bowl. I know that Miss Shimenti had all the parlays on this game. She's going to be a millionaire. after this game, so I'm really happy for that. But I want to talk about our favorite moments from the big game that happened. I'm going to start on my favorite moments. My favorite moments, in no particular order. I loved, this is going to be so mean, but Travis Kelce showing up to the game in a very fancy sequined outfit. Did anyone else see this?
Yeah,
no,
I
didn't.
Like Ron Burgundy.
Oh yeah, he was
Oh
swaggy.
my God.
It was like he was all ready to go and everything. But my favorite moment is him walking quietly in the same outfit. You like what sucks is you know the Chiefs were gonna win. They thought they were gonna win so much that this man had no backup outfit planned. Like not even some sweats, no nothing. Oh, he was ready to party. Oh my gosh, it was
I would have
so
left
bad.
in my underwear before
Really?
you saw me in that. Yeah, I would have left in my football pants, the shoes,
Man,
and
brutal.
whatever shirt. But you're right. You would not have caught me in that outfit on the way out, looking like I'm about to party.
It was so
Someone
sad.
said that I saw a tweet. It was like somebody took a trip to Turkey because like his hair was different or something. I was dying.
Oh,
And they were
really?
like,
You think he's had work done?
That's what a lot of people were saying. They were like, it's a toupee or whatever. Or, like his toupee is gonna fall off, or I don't know what. But it was so funny.
You think
I gotta
he
see
had
this suit
hair
now.
blocks? All right, chat. If you're listening in the comments of this, whenever this video is posted, do you think Travis Kelce got some work done on his hair? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments down below. But we're gonna go around and say our favorite moments. Derek, what was your favorite moment from last night's game?
I just want to say real quick about Travis Kelce. He looked like Kings of Comedy, like the original special.
Derek, you have to go. You have to get.
That's how he was dressed. That's how he was dressed.
Go.
But sequins.
But sequence, yeah.
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 No, I think my favorite part of the game itself, I think my favorite part of the night is unrelated to the game, but the fact that the Eagles already just knew they had it in the bag and they dumped the cooler on the coach like a solid 5 minutes
they
before the
did.
game was over.
It was like
I think
10,
that was great.
Yeah.
or like it was like something like that. It was like way
It
more.
was
Which
way
is-
sooner.
You know, which is funny. What's funny is like 2 or 3 years ago, Tom Brady came back against the Falcons with that. I told you I'm getting into football against the Falcons with the same type of deficit, but the difference was it was Tom Brady, and none of them believed in Patrick Mahomes on that level because my boy was flopping. He was getting tossed around, and that was my favorite.
It was bad. It was bad. I saw the Stephen A. Smith clip post Super Bowl. He's like, the GOAT conversation has got to end. Patrick Mahomes is not even in the closest range of the GOAT. They had to bring back statistics on, was it Joe Montana, to find someone close in the GOAT conversation next. But
I do think they're being hard on Patrick Mahomes.
really,
but
it was
is
pretty bad.
one game in his entire career. I know it's the most important game of his entire career, but just 2 weeks ago, not even 5 days ago, people were talking about how he was the greatest player of all time and he was going to start a dynasty that would be unstoppable. And now we're saying he's not even in this conversation. He's still young. How old is he?
Too young. I don't know.
I think
Am
he's
I older?
29.
Oh, dip.
Wait,
Yeah,
am
that
I
may be
older
it.
than
That may
Patrick
be it.
Mahomes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're getting
I'm
that
not.
age. You're getting that age, Justin, where you're just older than athletes, and you just got to eat it. Yeah.
What
could
am I
never play
doing
sports.
with my life? Even when Patrick Mahomes fails, he's doing better than me. He's doing better than me. Oh man, not gonna like get my AARP card going after that conversation.
Yeah, but you get a free upgrade on your popcorn at the movie theater.
Wait, really? Is that true?
No,
Oh.
I made that up.
I
Why would I know
excited.
that? I'm not on AARP.
Hey, you never know. You never know. Stefania, what is your favorite moment from the Super Bowl?
Just one?
Just your favorite one. You can talk more if you want. I'm not gonna stop you.
Well, I mean, my obvious favorite moment would be the halftime show. But if we're talking like the game, You know what? I enjoyed seeing a lot of like the players' last names. There was someone with the last name Sweat, and he did this, and then he turned around. I saw his last name. I was like, that's why he did that. I was like, that's so nice. And then probably one of the coolest moments I saw was that 22-year-old Eagles player. His name is like Wajan or something, or Jean, not Jean, but it's something French. He ran like however many yards, like literally one end to the other, and made a touchdown. No one stopping him, and it was like pretty cool to see. I was like, I'm like, I can still do that. I can't. No, I can't. It's like my toxic trait is I can do that. No, I can't.
Yeah. No,
100 yards is a long way
it's
to run.
very
It's
long.
a
I'm like, oh, it
long
doesn't look that
way.
bad. He's also like 6 foot. Also, the average height of like the Eagles players is 6'6", and like 200,
6'6"?
like yes, and like almost 300 pounds. They showed the stats on there. I was like, dang, that's why it looked like it wasn't that far. Because they're huge.
Because they're huge. They're humongous. That's why that makes the Eagles even finer. Now that you know that they're actual giants.
Interesting. Yeah. But that does give us a good segue to talk about the amazing halftime performance. And what's most confusing about, for me, I don't know about you guys, is the reactions definitely fell on colored lines this time around, because everyone with our skin complexion loved that halftime show. But I would say someone who doesn't look like us did
white
not
people.
like white people. Oh, it's my show. You can say white people.
I could say white people.
Derek, are you a white?
I'm Cuban.
So, yeah, that's pretty white. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Down here, I'm just Cuban. But the minute I leave South Florida, I get looks.
Yeah,
so it's like,
definitely. But the Cubans are the white. For y'all who don't know, the Cubans are the whitest of the Latinos.
Correct.
And they will let you know. A lot of them will say they're white instead of. It gets. There's actually an episode of One Day at a Time, where Rita Morena is like, she's playing a Cuban woman, and she says the whole episode, "We're not Cuban, we're white," and her daughter is trying to explain to her like, we're not white, we're like Latina. And she's like, we're white. And I was like, yeah.
It's like a whole brainwash.
That's like, Gina.
I want to be accepted thing.
Gina Torres from Suits and what else is she? Lawrence Fishburne's ex-wife. You guys know who she is?
Yeah.
She is fully Cuban, and she could never claim it because she was like, I don't want that drama, so she just plays black ladies.
That's like Laz Alonso.
She's not black?
I mean, she's black. Excuse me. But she's also Cuban.
Yeah. That's how white the white Cubans are. That the black Cubans, people don't realize they're black until they start speaking Spanish, and you're like, oh shit. Because Cuban Spanish is very specific too.
So is what's his name? Laz Alonso. Alonso, yeah. Mother's Milk. And that was the whole drama that John Leguizamo, whatever his name, I'm terrible with names, y'all. That he was like, there's no Latinos on The Boys, and he was like, I'm a main character on The Boys. What are you talking about? And he just ignored him. He's like, oh, blacks. I didn't want y'all.
Yeah,
it's the whole thing, Justin. I'll put you on later.
Wait, isn't he? He's not. That's Luigi. John Leguizamo.
Oh,
he's Luigi.
He's.
Luigi.
Let me tell you. And this is where my Miguel O'Hara argument came from. Being a black Latino is hard as fuck. And every non-black Latino that you meet, typically, there's like a 90% chance they're going to be just a little bit racist to you. At least a microaggression, right? Like, at least a microaggression. So, like, the one I get normally, if I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, they'll be like, oh, the nose, I see it, it's pretty. I'd be like, what? And what does that mean? Right. I'd be like, oh, I don't know if that's it. I'd be like, I have my mom's nose, which is cat, but I need to say it. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
It's a dirty word.
I'm learning so many new things about different cultures on this podcast. Wow.
That's what we're here for.
But speaking of different cultures were not appreciative of Kung Fu Kenny's performance at the Super Bowl. And to me, to be honest with you, if we're being 100, I think Kendrick Lamar's performance was pretty tame. In the terms of Kendrick Lamar performances and things he has to say, it was all I kept seeing videos of like, oh, the hidden meanings of Kendrick Lamar's performance. I don't know if anything is hidden. It feels as though he's saying the quiet part out loud. Am I wrong? Did anybody else feel this, or am I just crazy?
I felt like he saw the reception of the Cowboy Carter halftime show, and he said, I don't want there to be any ambiguity. Because Beyonce was trying to say the same thing, right? She had tarp on the American flag. She was playing HBCU music to like American crunchy music. And people were still calling it propaganda. He was like, I want no confusion here. I'm just going to put it out. I will say he could have changed his outfit at least once. This is the Super Bowl.
Ooh, that is true. I do have another hot take. Mm-hmm. Male artists at the Super Bowl are almost always disappointing. Always disappointing.
I don't think that take is that hot.
Here's the thing, though. Last good male artist at the Super Bowl was probably Usher. Because, number one, most of the time they just stand there and sing. And I love Kendrick. I love his dancers. But that doesn't make as interesting as a show. When like JLo was on the pole, she's doing all these flips. Lady Gaga was jumping in from the sky and stuff like that. And
Bruno cooked. Bruno cooked.
He did, but also Usher was he last year?
Yeah, Usher was.
So how is it? There's no one in between Usher and Kendrick. So like,
I'm just saying. I'm saying.
No,
am I wrong? Does that invalidate me?
I do think you're right. You're like, there's nowhere else because you said the last time.
Yeah, the
last
time.
The last male performance.
The last was last year.
He was great. But usually they suck. Usually, like The Weeknd, I'm so sorry, it was a mess.
That was during COVID. I will say that was during COVID, and he actually put his own money into that performance. So like artists don't do that; they do it like for free, right? Last time I checked,
they do it for free.
No, they get paid.
They get paid. I literally heard that like they can do it for free anyway. But he put his own money into it that time, and that was during COVID, and I felt really bad because he wasn't able to. He had his stage was on the side of the stadium. He couldn't be on the field. And the only time he was on the field was when he went down at the end of the performance and like all the dancers were there and stuff. But there was a rule he couldn't have a stage. It had to be on the side because if it was COVID, they had to get things like fast and, out of the way and prevent people from being like, close to each other and stuff. So, which I feel bad because like that was a great time for him with his After Hours album coming out. And that was like such a great album and everyone loved it. And like he couldn't have the Super Bowl performance that like others were able to have because of COVID.
Yeah. Damn.
I didn't like it. Okay. I still didn't like it. No, I like the album though. I like
You're
The
like,
Weeknd.
damn, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's so ass. I love that.
What did you think of Kendrick's performance?
I think it was fine. It was, I think a lot of times the simpler the better, right? Like if you're an artist and you're a poet and you're known for your writing, all you got to do is go out there and just recite it, and that's basically what he did. And the imagery, I don't think it was hidden. I think it was just very digestible for people, but they're not used to like getting it, so they're all like, oh shit, I discovered it. I
discovered it.
I understood the point, and especially when it comes to like the Super Bowl halftime, right? Because besides Beyonce, besides Kendrick, like what was Lady Gaga trying to say? What was Shakira and JLo trying to say? Like they were just performing.
Excuse me, Shakira and JLo made sure that they highlighted their roots from New York to Lebanon to Colombia throughout their show. And they also talked about female liberation. The same with Lady Gaga, talked about queer representation, feminism. Excuse me.
Get them. Cancel them.
All right. I'll see myself out. Bye.
Thank you. I love JLo more than I care to admit.
You're a fan of JLo?
Listen, it's weird. It's this weird thing, right? I don't like JLo as a person. I do think she's weird. But God damn it, if you play My Love Don't Cost a Thing, I'm shaking my ass. I'm getting, if Get Right come on, swear to God, right now. If Get Right comes on, I'm going crazy. I love her music. And really what it is I love Ashanti. But Ashanti didn't put out the songs. JLo did. And so I love a lot of JLo music, even though she stole it. You know?
True. I think JLo cares too much. Like, she really cares. I don't think there is ever a moment where she didn't, like, put 110% into it. And not that we don't want that in a, like, performance or a lifestyle or a celebrity, but it feels as though if I, like, mess up once in front of JLo, I'll never see her again. I will, unless I'm Ben Affleck, but that's a whole nother podcast. But, like, she will cut you off if you mess up once. Like, you have to get her coffee order right perfectly. Everything has to be perfect. Like, dang, there's no...
Yeah, because she has imposter syndrome. All of the creativity that we see, all of the art that we praise her for is not hers. And so she needs to make sure it's right because she doesn't know how things feel right. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're truly creating something, you're not that mean because you're just trying to get your expression out. But with her, everything has to be technically right for the project to go off without a hitch because she doesn't have the eye or the creativity to make it work any other way.
That's a really good point. See, that's why we brought Frankie on this pod, guys. That's why we brought Frankie on the pod. But now that we've all shared our hot takes about the Super Bowl, let's hear what Frankie stopped scrolling on this week. So, Frankie, what did you find on your feed this week?
Actually, hold on real quick before we get there. Do you like JLo enough to have watched that movie?
No, we had moved over on to the news segment. And that's the crazy part is, and I would have loved to answer that for you, Derek.
Wow.
I missed my chance.
You
She cooked you twice in like a span of 10 minutes.
No, she's avoiding. She's no commenting me. That's what it is.
And you know, but I did watch JLo, so I paid my dues. I paid my dues. Is all that matters.
You watched JLo?
Listen, it was a different time, Justin.
It was a different time.
You don't know. You don't know.
I liked Hustlers though. Hustlers was great.
That's not a JLo movie though, right? Like,
it's not.
It's
Hustlers.
It's
She's
not.
right.
It's not a JLo. Made in Manhattan is a JLo movie.
That's a whole movie.
You know what I mean? Like, there are a very distinct like you know what a Kevin Hart movie is, but there are movies with Kevin Hart in it.
I can't remember the last time Kevin Hart had a good movie, like a really good movie.
Maybe it was the one with Bryan Cranston.
I forgot about that one.
He had a really good show with Wesley Snipes. It was like Once Upon a Time or Once a Night, or it was like they like kill a prostitute and they're like spend the next couple days trying to like cover it up. It's really good. It's on Netflix.
So
Bryan Cranston and Wesley Snipes, or Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes?
It was Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. Not Bryan. Although that sounds a little bit more ill, I'm not gonna hold you. And that's not out of Bryan Cranston's wheelhouse either.
He'll do it. Yeah.
He would definitely do it. But no, this one was Kevin Hart. But I was scrolling on my feed. I have been obsessed with this morality question with Invincible. Right now, we're on our Civil War era with Cecil and Mark. And I'm one of those, people who've read the comic books and I'm watching this show. And it's so interesting to see how comic book readers are interpreting this show and to see how, like, people who are just fans of the show are interpreting it. And unfortunately, most of my feed are men, and so most of them are wrong. But I just let them...
Okay.
Not wrong. I hate when the people say your take is wrong, but I feel like they leave out a lot of nuance in lieu of, I love Mark. You know what I mean? And I think we miss out on so much story and how much work Robert Kirkman put, particularly in the show, to make this like a balanced argument that I don't think we really get when we see like two sides, you know?
True. Are you Team Cecil or Team Mark, for the record?
Team Cecil all day. And for those that I have read the comics, I know what he's about to do. Team Cecil to the day I die.
Really?
Honestly.
I haven't read the comics, so don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it. But, I mean, he does Cecil-like things. Whatever you're seeing more, he does things within that wheelhouse. And they are always on the line of questionable or ethical, but they're always necessary. Cecil isn't doing things out of, like, being cruel or mean. He's doing it because, like, Earth has no chance. Their strongest people are from a race of people who want to conquer them, and that's terrifying.
True story. Derek, Stefania, are you Team Cecil or Team Mark?
You go, Stefania.
And I've never seen Invincible.
Oh, no!
Oh,
That's why.
Oh, you didn't do the homework.
Hold on. I told her to go first because I also have not seen Invincible.
No!
I got two hosts who haven't done the homework.
What about Severance? Do you guys watch Severance?
I'm watching
Season
Severance.
1, but I have to
No,
rewatch.
we
I have to
can't even-
rewatch.
You guys aren't plugged in?
These are honestly the
so-
two best shows that are out right now. Damn.
I pull a Kendrick a lot where I'm like TV off because I don't watch TV much.
That's fair.
I fall asleep.
That's fair.
Invincible puts you to sleep.
No. In general, I fall asleep.
I just forget. So there's so many things that people tell me to
Excuses.
watch, and I forget to watch them.
I guess it's just
I did
me
try.
and Frankie talking about Invincible.
I did try to get into Invincible, and I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. Like, I saw the first couple episodes years ago. Like, I think it was before COVID that, like, season 1 came out, right? And then I just never stuck with it. And then on the internet, all the dudes that are like, oh, man, this show's so good, blah, blah. That just turns me away from it even more, because I'm just kind of like, if this dude likes it, am I...
It's good. It's very gory, but since it's a cartoon, it doesn't feel as gory. I will say this. I don't know, I haven't read the comic, but this season is less of a deconstruction of superheroes and more of an examination of what the characters actually are in this world, right? And so it's kind of like Mark and Cecil's Civil War or whatever. But basically, for the debate, you know, Mark believes that that's the main character, Invincible, believes...
Come on, man.
I am trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
I know that much.
Believes that villains should not be rehabilitated, and we should throw away the key. But Cecil, the Nick Fury type character, takes the villains that they defeat. Sometimes they're rehabilitated, and sometimes they use their technology to create Evil Dead robots that could be used in a pinch. Which one would you choose, Derek?
I just finished watching Captain America Winter Soldier, so
Oh my God, me too.
this
It's
is
so
a
much
very
fun.
tough question because
You're missing the nuance, Justin. Cecil is.
Oh.
Cecil
It's the
is.
truth.
He is an Amanda Waller type,
Is
but
he?
he is. He's definitely like Cecil.
I think in
But
my
if she was
opinion-
good, like Cecil's actually good. Like they show him as a hero. They show him risk his life for the greater good, and everything he's doing. It's like Batman and Tower of Babel. He's closer to that than he is to Amanda Waller. He's closer to a Nick Fury than he is an Amanda Waller.
I believe that. That's true. Because I feel as though Cecil's not wrong. There are possibly thousands of Viltrumites who descend on Earth. We need something. We need a failsafe or some kind of comeback just in case Mark decides,
And
I
also,
want to
Mark
save the world.
Mark is not Superman. He's not a perpetually good guy. He's a teenager who's hormonal and who's killed a guy because he got tight. Like whose father killed hundreds of people and just dipped out. And then he went to go see his father, came back with a baby from his father. So Mark is questionable too, to Cecil. We know he's good.
Came back with a baby dressed like Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Dressed like the
no. Absolutely
That's crazy.
not.
Whoa.
I'm like shaking in my boots right now. Like I don't.
Yeah, you guys. Thank you for the response. Y'all like, oh.
We're trying our best here. Okay,
Man, that's crazy.
You've seen Winter Soldier and Civil War. Were you Team Iron Man or Team Cap?
So what's crazy is I was actually when I first saw it, I was Team Iron Man.
You didn't watch it.
Don't insult me like that. I was Team Iron Man when I first watched it, and then I matured a bit, and I was like, I'm actually Team Cap now.
Interesting.
I guess matured is not the great word. I became open-minded, I guess.
I'm okay. I'll hold my thoughts until the rest of the pod answers. Derek, are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
It's in America, man. Like I don't understand how it's a debate in the movie version. I mean, I guess in the comics too, but just Captain America.
Okay, Frankie. I know you're a DC gal, but are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Man, I would say I'm on the fence, but I guess Team Cap is the right way. This is my issue. I feel like Marvel spends so much time making the government look so good that Tony was kind of spitting. They blew up a city in Africa and was moving. They were doing whatever they wanted. And like, I feel like we apply the logics of the government that we haven't seen, because even Nick Fury, who was the highest ranking official in S.H.I.E.L.D., didn't know that half of them were Nazis. I'm sorry, Hydra. Because they're also not Nazis. They didn't even let Hydra be Nazis. So I'm always on the fence because I can see both. But I like Tony's team better, stacked. You know what I mean? Like,
he had Black Panther on the team.
Yeah, he had Black Panther. He had
Vision.
Spider-Man. He had Vision. I was like, Cap's team is whack as fuck. They about to get folded. Oh my God, they're going to get folded.
They got a lot of heart. They had a lot of heart.
Luckily, they did have Scarlet Witch, so low key, then they can't get folded. But like on the ones and twos, they was getting cooked.
Hey, I think I'm the only person on this pod who was Team Iron Man.
Let's go. I just set him down.
Justin.
Just set him down.
Well, it's the truth. Okay, all right, hold on.
I mean, I was Team Iron Man first, so like I can see that. I like to play devil's advocate a few times, and this is like one of those things where it's like I kind of play devil's advocate a bit, but then I kind of just settled on Cap.
Here's the thing. I think that if you are a person who makes it their mission to help people or save lives, you have to be accountable to someone. I don't care if you're Steve Rogers. I think that you should be at the very least accountable to the people that you want to save, to be answerable to them, to somebody. Like, it's a problem for these checks and balances not to be checked and balanced. And my biggest problem with Team Cap is that instead of presenting a united front, you have a billionaire on your side, bro. You don't think he has a bunch of lawyers to at least work out some stuff in the Accords to get what you wanted? Instead of presenting a united front, you wanted to pick and choose what you wanted, and then you completely checked out when you didn't have the perfect candidate that you wanted, and you decided to check out the election. But actually, I'm sorry, wrong discussion. I'm sorry. I'm saying presenting a united front, because when the big bad monster comes to town and said he's gonna wipe out all the half of human life, I think presenting a united front was the better option. And then what happened when Cap said, "I'm on call. I'm on part-time. Don't call me if something comes up. I'll be there." And guess where he was? He wasn't there.
Hold on. No, hold on.
You're gonna look at me and tell me I'm wrong?
What you just described is on Tony. Tony's the one that said, "Oh, you got this book for me to sign? I got you." And he signed it, and he said, "I already signed that shit." So you guys either join me or don't join me. So you want to talk about a united front? That was on Tony to say, hey, General Ross is about to show up at the house and talk to us and tell us all this shit. How do we want to go about it? Not, oh, we're going to catch you up on the details I already signed. So it's kind of on Tony for mishandling it. Not that he was wrong.
Tony is not the leader of the Avengers.
Even more of a reason he shouldn't have signed it.
He's not the leader.
He's the leader.
Yes,
He's
he
the
is.
leader.
Who's the
They
leader?
couldn't vote.
Yes.
They were all living up in his headquarters. They were all taking his stipend. He was the leader.
You know,
Nick Fury showed up at his door.
But they weren't getting paid. Falcon was not getting paid.
He couldn't get a bank loan.
He couldn't get a fucking
He couldn't even get a bank loan. He got no employment history for the past few years.
I swear to God, it makes me angry all over again because I'm trying to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm like, you're telling me he didn't have any payments? He just had the credit card, the team credit card.
You know, I think that's because he's a military guy and he's used to being in circumstances where it's like housing and everything is you know, whatever, covered. And we pay you whatever. I think he got a little stipend, he got his little whatever, and he had a place to live, and it was an extension of the military.
Yeah.
Still,
that's the problem. That's the problem with the MCU is there's so much to cover that you just can't. You can't do it in a series or in 3 movies even, right? Like there's so many details and stuff to work out that it's impossible. It's impossible to get to that. Like, oh, how much did everybody get paid? And what was their annual bonus raise like? And that kind of deal, you know?
You know what's weird, though? I just got done watching Winter Soldier, literally right before this podcast. And Maria Hill is at a job interview at Stark Industries. She works in the HR department. So if she can get paid, she is literally on the payroll. But Sam doesn't have a W-2?
Because they don't.
1099?
They don't work for S.H.I.E.L.D. They work for Tony. And Tony said, look, that's even worse. He's a billionaire. Yeah. He's a
I'm glad he died. I'm glad he died.
He could have gave up. That's nuts. He said, dang, that's nuts.
Here's the thing. I just wish they would have negotiated, kept the team together. So when Thanos came knocking, like when Tony Stark was cussing out Cap, he's told no lies.
No
lies.
He was projecting, is what he was doing.
Projecting.
You're correct. He wasn't lying.
The lie,
he was just
Derek? Where was the lie? What are you lying about?
There was no lie. There was no lie. It was just about himself.
Best work after the fact.
He split the team up.
Anyways, if you haven't heard, speaking of all the Marvel stuff going on, if you haven't heard, there is a new Marvel movie coming out this week called Captain America: Brave New World, formerly known as New World Order, but that's a whole nother podcast. I'm excited to see it. Who else is excited to see this movie? Frankie, are you excited? Oh no!
I'm not excited.
Sam Wilson.
I'm not. I am. What's the word? Cautiously excited. I'm not excited the way I am for like Fantastic Four, you know. But like I'm cautious. My heart is open. If it's good, I'm gonna give it its propers. If it's ass, I'm gonna say it. And
interesting. So an honest response. Okay, so she's on the Warner Brothers payroll. Got it. Got
it.
I talked bad about Black Adam when it came out.
It was pretty bad. That was
pretty bad.
Astonishingly bad. I was shocked.
What do you mean? Black Adam was really good. Especially the little kid. He was great.
It was great. I almost convinced someone who worked on the project that it was good. Because they know it's bad. Everybody knows it's bad. And I was in a room. Everyone know people have eyes. And so I'm trying to explain that I'm trying to like defend The Rock because I'm a really big Rock fan. I don't know if you guys could see this entire shelf right here is The Rock.
That's just like action figures.
Yeah.
That's just The Rock. This one space right here. This is too far for me to get up, but it's like right here, whatever. So I'm trying to defend The Rock, and I did say that Black Adam is the only film that someone directly talks to a superhero and challenges them about world issues and says you only interject if there's something superhero. So in a very Palestine coded place, Black Adam, hit up Superman and then was like, oh, so now y'all want to pull up now that there's Black Adam here? But when we were going through genocide and war, y'all was quiet because y'all was what? Doing what? Now's the only film that did it.
You know what? I'm upset that
Black Adam is pro-Palestine? What? That's what you're upset about, Dan?
You said, God damn it.
No, I'm upset because the way you just described it, the way you just kind of painted that picture is better than the movie itself.
And that's my job. Did that not happen in the movie? Did it not happen in the movie? That one scene.
You aren't wrong. But you're wrong in spirit.
I'm definitely playing up this one singular tiny scene, but
it was bad. It was bad. But I don't think Captain America Brave New World would be bad. Derek, do you agree? What do you think about Captain America Brave New World?
I don't know. My biggest concern is they are trying to split the difference between, again, Palestine and Israel and all that with Sabra or Ruth or whatever she's going to be called.
Yeah. I heard they changed her, the character.
Yeah, I think they erased that character's history or whatever. But I think between that and trying to introduce Red Hulk and adamantium and I don't know. I want it to be Winter Soldier vibe, but I think they're trying to do like Winter Soldier plus like a sequel to The Incredible Hulk / General Ross. So like my heart is also open, and I'm hoping
my
for
heart
the
is
best.
I love that. I can
We'll
accept that, and my heart is still open. I love that.
Okay. All right. Stefania, are you ready for Captain America Brave New World to fly into your heart?
I'm also open-hearted with going into this movie. I'm seeing it Sunday, so later than most people. But I am also really hoping for Winter Soldier vibes because that's one of my favorite MCU movies. And if not, probably my favorite. And I guess what Derek is saying, a lot of these characters are coming in, and it might get lost in the way. Like, it might be just too jumbled up at some point with all these characters. But I don't know, because you also have what's his name, the big headed
Magneto
guy,
the leader.
The leader.
Magneto,
You have
what the hell?
He said big head. You were making the sign. I'm not, that looks like Magneto to me. I don't know. See?
So you
The
have
Vegeta.
Also the leader, and we haven't seen the leader or the actor at least since The Incredible Hulk. So we don't know what happened between then and now. And I feel like we're gonna get a little bit of a deep dive into that, but I don't want it to be run on too long. I don't want us to stick on one subject for too long of the movie and then everything else is just little bits, right? Because then you have a long run time, right? Or you're just trying to cram everything in such a short amount of time. And we've seen with the Justice League, at least the extended version, where each character had their own time and the movie was 4 hours long and it was crazy, right? So I'm hoping it's not too jumbled up or we're getting too much all at once. But I'm hoping it's good. At least I enjoy it,
Right. Okay, here's the thing. I'm pumped for this movie. I'm really excited because something happened that didn't happen. I often use my parents as what as a gauge of what's permeating the pop culture for them to hear about it, because they've seen most of the Marvel movies, you know what I mean? But for one in a long time, my dad hit me up and he's like, "Hey, have you bought tickets to the new Cap movie yet?" And I was, "Dad, the last Marvel movie he saw was Black
But
Panther."
I think that's because Anthony Mackie
Exactly.
is in it, and
so
he
I'm
was in
hopeful.
Spike Lee films, and so Black people are just, especially older Black people, are a kid to him.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so maybe something's in the water, maybe it has some kind of juice, but I'm excited to see another black superhero into the mix. I'm really pumped, but with the whole like, I guess Sabra of it all, I was one of the people that said, wait and see what they say with this character. So I think if there was ever a time for other characters that are sponsored by their government to show up, it's probably in a Captain America movie. And obviously, no one could have foreseen the terrible events of October. No one could have foreseen that. So I'm very curious to what they have to say about another state-sponsored superhero, like whoever this person is. But apparently, they erased every connection she has with Israel. So she's just a Jewish Black Widow. So I'll be sat, and we'll report back with our review next week. Keep it locked. It's going to be a good time. But I'm pumped. What could possibly go wrong? They kill off Sam Wilson? Not going to happen.
I'm actually curious as to what the reshoots were. I'm curious as if it's like towards Sabra when they changed her. Maybe. Or if it's other things in the mix that they changed as well, like the story and like maybe the ending of the movie, or like maybe, I don't know. So maybe we'll find out after the movie comes out. Harrison Ford. Huh?
Like maybe it's something to do with him. Like, I think people like Harrison Ford enough to show up. They didn't show up for Indiana Jones, but there's a chance, guys. There's a chance.
I will say, I am super excited to see Sam Wilson as Cap again. Because I enjoyed Cap and the Winter Soldier. And also, I like the fact that he doesn't have the headpiece anymore, the cowl.
Oh,
and he
God.
said that he was like, I will not play Sam Wilson ever again if I continue to wear this. That's why they changed it to a helmet. Because I know a lot of people were like, why is he wearing a helmet? And after he came out with that, I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, because looking at that cowl, it looks uncomfortable.
It looked uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it was like, even before they had like the CGI, when they like made it skin tight, it was like
he would turn his head
budging out over here. Yeah. And it looked like
because people
turning
are
your
not,
head too didn't look comfortable.
People are not supposed to wear cowls. That's the whole thing.
No,
right?
unless you're Wolverine.
Doesn't
but
work.
like.
It does not work. It'll look like the Michael Keaton cowl, which he couldn't move. Like when you watch the movies, he moves full. His whole torso has to like move like this, which is like the only way it looked good. Yeah, exactly, Derek.
Right.
Like a Lego.
Who
like a Lego.
had the neck thing? I think the people at Disney World, the actors at Disney World, also have the neck sock. They don't have the updated thing going on, but like Batman had the neck sock. Oh, Gambit. Channing Tatum had a head sock.
Yeah.
But Gambit wears one. But that was a Pooh Shiesty. So that was just like a...
What?
You have to explain now.
You never heard of a Pooh Shiesty?
I'm from Ohio. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's never from Ohio. It's Derek knows. Derek knows what it is. It's a ski mask.
Yeah. But like
Oh, okay.
We call it a Pooh Shiesty because people rob thing. And
That
a
makes
rapper,
sense.
I think a rapper calls it that. I forgot his name.
That makes sense.
I've never had to
But, I mean,
explain it. Pooh Shiesty.
Has anyone ever pulled off a cowl like that?
Like in real life?
Just in costumes in general. Has everyone ever pulled it off?
Ben
you're
Affleck
like, wow, they need
did
it.
in the Daredevil movie.
Who?
Ben
yeah?
Affleck.
Yeah.
that's a throwback. That's a throwback.
Let me look it
Yeah.
up.
He didn't show up in Deadpool and Wolverine for a reason.
Because what's her name was in it?
Jennifer Garner was like, no, thank you.
She
No,
like
thank
me
you.
or him.
But
They're
also,
good. They're good friends though. They co-parent.
Oh, aren't they back together actually?
they're back together?
No.
It seems like they're friendly. They're friendly.
They're friendly. Oh, no,
Because they have a
no,
kid.
no, no. I'm capping. He got a very tasteful leather jacket with a high neck, a mock neck. He looks excellent.
I'm not
He
a
looks
fan.
Now I gotta look this up.
Very hot. This is This is the only time Ben Affleck was hotter was when he played Batman, and that's not me being biased. He just was really fucking hot in that movie.
I think Charlie Cox had the cowl neck thing.
Yeah,
right?
He had it cut, but it's still not connected. So with both of them, the helmet and the mock neck makes it look like it's connected versus like Gambit, it's all one piece, or with Captain America, it's all one piece. Charlie and Ben have two pieces.
Yeah. I don't know if in Deadpool and Wolverine, when Wolverine puts on the cowl, because it's coming from the back, I don't know if that was an actual costume piece that he pulled, and then they just like CGI'd the rest for that scene. Because I know they said that it was CGI. I don't know what. I figured it was just for the fight.
At what point?
At what point, yeah. I don't know if he actually pulled something over. Because that would count. That's a cowl attached to the suit.
But it doesn't count if it's CGI. That is probably CGI. It didn't crumple up or nothing. Also, where was that hood that whole time?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
I think nanotech kind of ruined a lot of things in the MCU, but it's a whole nother podcast. Like, it kind of takes like the magic away. Because like with Iron Man 2, he pulled out the briefcase. It was like, that was amazing. But now everyone's mask just, and it's like,
that's right. Creativity.
And then they didn't bother to make Thor's like more magic.
Nope.
Looking when his does it, it's just like also nanotech.
Yeah.
And
It did look like nanotech. I think though that like magic, I don't think they really know what to do with magic. And I think because so many of these superhero fantasy things work so hard to put things in realism, I think a piece of that is they feel like magic needs to be taken away in lieu of science. And yeah, so I think overall Thor is less magical. He even mentions in the first movie that like magic is science to him. And that's a shame.
That's fair. Speaking of shame, we have a lot of people coming up with a new trailer for the big Super Bowl that came out, the Thunderbolts. A lot of formerly shamed people. And I thought it was interesting that they're taking an angle of like, these are canceled superheroes. Making their own team. Everyone deserves a second shot, you know what I mean? So, Stefania, are you willing to uncancel John Walker for his crimes against humanity?
You know, I'll have to, based off the trailer footage of what I've seen, it looks like he wants to be part of the team. He doesn't want to die. He literally says in the trailer, like, I don't want to die. To Red Guardian. Also Red Guardian, I'm very excited to see him again. But I can keep an open mind for him. I mean, because I just look at it also as like Bucky, you know, where he came from, where he was the villain, and then everybody loved him, right? So also like Loki, he was a villain, now everybody loves him. So he has to make a comeback, and I think he could do that with the Thunderbolts, with a group of misfits, you know?
Interesting. Derek, are you willing to place bets on John Walker's survival or any of the survival of the Thunderbolts in this movie? What do you think of the trailer, Derek?
I think they're in trouble. Like, they might have oversold everything a little bit too early for me on the, like...
Really?
Yeah, man, like, you see people not even disintegrate, just, like, disappear. Like, I don't know if you noticed it in the trailer. It's like people running, and then from one frame to the next, they're gone, and it's just their shadow on the floor, like a nuclear shadow on the floor.
That's the Void.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, like it's giving Suicide Squad, not the James Gunn version, is like my first impression. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I'm excited for it, and I'm going to probably have a great time just because the cast is stacked, and I think each of the characters are pretty compelling. Well, most of the characters are pretty compelling enough for me to just, you know, suspend my disbelief. But at the end of the day, like, I think this might just be like we've got to set up the next whatever So this movie has to happen real quick. Boom.
Damn, makes sense. Fantastic Frankey. What are you excited about the Thunderbolts trailer?
I really love the color grading of it. Like, this is the first time in a while that I was like, this is beautiful. Like, after Ant-Man, Quantumanium, where they gave us that brown fucking quantum realm, I actually, and I'm not saying this because of DC, Guardians of the Galaxy is also beautiful. Those shots when they're in space with those rainbow suits, you know, whatever. I love color, and I love the way it's color graded. I am a John Walker apologist. Because fuck the government. They chewed him up and spit him out. And they made sure they showed that John Walker is for the people. He went to HBCU. He had a black best friend. He had a black wife. How could I hate him? How could I hate him? And the game changed him. The pressure changed him. He was a beautiful blonde white man his whole life, and now he had stripes.
Here's the thing. Here's why I don't trust. I don't trust John Walker's black friends because, number one, have you ever heard of the black wife effect? Right?
Yes.
He has a black best friend. He has a black wife, and he still looks not cool.
Some white boys are just white men to white men, and nobody wants to change him, you know? Like, Coy Jandro, his fiance is black, but he's still very much a white man. He don't got a fade. You know, he listens to hip-hop.
I think we would like John Walker a lot more if he had a fade. I'm just saying.
I feel that. I feel sometimes white boys don't get the fade, and I can't be mad at them for respecting their culture. Why?
Listen. I get it. I understand. But remember when Travis Kelce had a black girlfriend?
And I hated that for him.
He never looked better. And now he's with not a black girlfriend.
And that's why he had on that suit, because he was pretending. He didn't really absorb she was dressing him. Me personally, if I have a white man, you know, I'm not here to, I want him to look presentable, but like the whole point is you're with a white man. Why are you trying to turn him into something else? You know what I'm saying? Like, let him, I love when they do that.
Let him cook.
I like when they do that thingy right here with their hair. Let him cook.
John Walker is not for the people. I'm just gonna say
he did lie to that black family about their son's death. That was kind of crazy. And then he did kill someone in cold blood. That also was kind of crazy. Times were crazy.
Is John Walker the only main character in the Marvel Universe to have a child of color? Oh my God!
No, T'Challa has a son.
Yeah, well, but he's not around. Oh man,
he's back. He's back. He's coming back. He's coming back.
You think he's coming back?
I think they ended Wakanda Forever to bring in the new Black Panther. I don't know if they're doing a time skip or what, but they said, Shuri, this was cute. You're not queen anymore, and you're not the Black Panther.
Yeah, she is. Oh, I read that totally differently. I read that as, like, I said this forever. Shuri should, like, the title of Black Panther and the king or queen of Wakanda should be totally separate. And so when M'Baku's the king, that frees up Shuri to be a free agent Black Panther and possibly join the Avengers. That's what I thought.
I knew the minute they showed that she had a son, that she was cooked in that way. I agree, but once I said, oh, the son is here. Next movie, she's cooked. It's going to be minimum 6-7 years, and then they could do a time skip. She's cooked. She's
Especially
cooked.
now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
She
gonna
doesn't
be so
believe in vaccines, so she's canceled.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So-
But I also heard, I forgot who said it. They said they weren't going to recast T'Challa and should stop listening to those rumors.
No,
It was
it
like
won't be T'Challa. It'll be what's his name? Also T'Challa.
Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
was like,
they won't
it was just
recast
saying something.
T'Challa, but they'll have T'Challa Jr.
Right. That's what I assumed that they would do.
It was
and then
Nate
people were talking
Moore.
about,
Mhm.
yes. And then I thought, because people were saying, oh, they're going to recast T'Challa, but I thought it was just going to be his son grown up the whole time.
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
what
guy
I think.
came out and said, we're not recasting T'Challa. So that's what I assume they're going to do.
Yeah. Same.
Or is there a possibility of a multiversal variant of T'Challa?
Enough multiverses.
Yeah, maybe.
Enough.
I
You're
think
done?
I truly think sorry, boo, but multiverse coming with Fantastic Four. So go ahead and strap in.
Yeah,
that's
true.
on the way this July. Enjoy.
That's very true.
Eat it.
I think. Well,
Yeah.
also the multiverse is going to end once Secret Wars is done. So
we don't know
up
that.
till then.
We don't know that. They made
I'm
Secret
hoping.
Invasion an
No,
in-house
look.
wrap-up. They turned Secret Invasion
No.
to
Stop
Secret Wars destroys the multiverse, please.
Oh,
Stop trying to
gosh.
sow disorder
to one
among us,
timeline.
Frankie. We see you.
Was Secret Invasion not a Zoom call? Was it not? They didn't even include the Asgardians. They were fighting over aliens having land, and nobody pulled up to Switzerland and said, "What the fuck are these people doing here?"
We know why. We know why they didn't go switch us there. We know why.
Even if they didn't, for not even the Skrulls to be like, y'all let those white aliens get a spot, was crazy to me. For them to not even mention it after
But
how
also-
activated Gravik was.
Non-human, not non-humanoid
Yeah.
aliens as well, because there's some of the like actual aliens living in New Asgard too.
But
Yeah, but they're so few and far. It's like 5% of that. Most of them are beautiful white people, you know, and Tessa
and
Thompson.
Skrulls can look like whoever they want to be. So what's the problem? Actually, okay, question for the pod.
Mhm.
If you were seeing someone and you found out they were a Skrull,
No
would
problem.
you continue dating them?
Yeah, my question is, how would they feel if I start asking for tweaks on what they chose? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, you know, I'm really feeling Ari Pierre in this one film.
No!
Can you
No!
can you rebel Bridget for me? This one time. One time. Can you do that?
Here's
Like,
the thing.
can
Here's
you
the thing.
do Chris Evans as Cap real quick, holding a helicopter?
No!
for
no!
research.
I feel as though that comes to the weird, like, if you were a celebrity in the Marvel Universe, would you be weirded out if a bunch of Skrulls were trying to be you? It's how weird.
Yeah. Ariana Grande hates that impersonator who looks
Exactly.
exactly like her. Y'all know
There
what I'm
would
talking
be
about?
millions of, and they would be good impersonators too. Really good ones.
With
Like,
your memories. Yuck. Yeah, that's the worst part. They had their
weird.
memories.
It's weird.
I think there was a culture around it, right? Like there was a culture around taking faces and stuff like that. Like they were at least do you the decency of kidnapping you, so you don't have to watch yourself around. So there's that.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out in the end. You don't even gotta worry about that
Did
for
it?
real.
Did it? It turned into open season on Skrulls at the end of that show, and we never addressed it. Somewhere,
They don't know what they do.
Daenerys
Don't worry
is
about it.
out there in the MCU with a Drax arm, just beating people up.
They
Don't
gave
think we-
her the
Captain Marvel
the
powers.
biggest power.
Secret Wars. Don't worry about it.
Dang. Will she show up in Secret Wars?
No, man.
It's the last time you see her. Let's be honest.
And then didn't they take more Skrulls and put them in Asgard?
Did they?
The Marvels.
Oh.
Wait.
King
Yeah.
Valkyrie pulled up and said,
yeah.
"We love Skrulls. Let's bring
What's the
more."
problem?
But I think
We're refugees too.
I think they wrote them at different times and they didn't talk to each other. So I
Yeah.
think like the Marvels was written first and that got put, because remember that was all during like the COVID time. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I feel like they were like, oh shit, and like that happened. But that was kind of crazy because they definitely were like, let's bring more Skrulls. The president
Wild.
just, declared war on you guys, but it's chill. It's really chill out here.
True
So
story.
I think Captain America, Brave New World. I think that move with the Skrulls probably lost him re-election, right?
Harrison Ford. Oh, the president in Secret Invasion lost the
Yeah.
election to Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Derek,
Thank
bringing
you.
it together.
Okay.
And- Or he just served his 2 terms, maybe.
We
Maybe.
like yours better. Let's see.
Yeah.
Because I also don't see Thunderbolt Ross sympathetic to the Skrulls either.
Do you think
So-
Thunderbolt Ross is a Republican in the MCU?
Yeah, bro.
Is he
They'll-
running against the
They'll
other guy
never-
though? The
they'll
other guy was
never,
not a Democrat
you're
though.
bugging. They'll never say parties names.
No, they
Really?
wouldn't.
No,
Yeah,
not
they
in the
won't.
Marvel. Are you kidding me?
Mm. It's Disney. They're not gonna risk that.
They're not. They're
Red
gonna.
Hulk isn't on the red team.
They'll hint,
Mm-hmm.
but they will never say Republican. They'll never say Democrat. And watch you. You're gonna know which one it is, Justin. I can't wait for you to go crazy because you're gonna want to do a video where you're talking about it, and people are gonna say they're not Democrats. Democrats are da da da. Be ready.
Hell nah.
Sorry.
Hell no. I mean, I have my prediction. I don't want to go into the movie predicting things, but I do have a couple predictions. I think we're gonna see a lot more of Harrison Ford in the future. I think
He's not ready to retire.
He's not ready to retire. I think
He's
we'll see
ready
him
to
more.
go. Shrinking did something to him, and he's like, yo, I gotta
Shrinking's
keep
so
working.
Good. It's weirdly
it's,
good.
It's such a good show. Oh my!
That's something I
He's
have to
like,
watch.
as long as it's not Star Wars, I'll do it.
True. This is so weird. I think that this is gonna light a fire under Thunderbolt Ross's ass. Since Sam Wilson doesn't want to join his Avengers, he starts his own, and that's how we get Thunderbolts. That's my guess. And I think he'll put all the cool super soldiers he wants on the team. But I'm telling you now, on this podcast, the recording on February 10th, Taskmaster is not making that out of this movie. I guarantee it.
She's barely in the trailer.
Barely in trailer.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
because
I think Red Guardian is gonna die in this movie too. 1000%. He's gonna have an emotional scene with Florence Pugh where he has to say goodbye to his adoptive daughter. It's gonna rip your heart out, and you're gonna feel bad for ever disliking Alexi.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
And he's gonna like die from the void too. So there's no body, nothing. It's just gonna be like, oh, gone.
damn.
He'll do
God,
something
tough.
stupid, like he'll try to punch the Sentry or some shit.
Yeah, it'll be some. Yeah,
I'll be like Natasha. They never got her body, did they? So
Is her
They never
body
got
still on
Natasha's body.
Vormir?
Yeah,
probably-
it's down there with the rest
It's
of the
down there.
bodies.
If
Same with
anyone
Red
can fake her death, though, if
Red
anyone
Skull's
can
up
fake
there
her
like-
death.
Yeah, making sure you're good.
Wow,
That's tough.
do you think? Well, Cap had to put back the stone, right? Do you get a body back?
No.
Really?
I don't-
You think
Yeah.
Black Widow's dead?
She's
I
gone.
mean, like, yeah, because we got another Gamora, but it's another universe Gamora or another
True.
time period Gamora.
And they said it. He was like, I tried to get her back. Sorry,
Yeah.
can't. Because he tried to get Natasha. He said she's cooked. She's done.
She's cooked. She's
yeah,
gone.
chat. Am I cooked? Chat. Sorry, I just picture her falling and her being like, "Am I cooked, chat?"
It feels too soon.
It's 5 years. It's
Red
fine.
Skull is the mod on her chat.
He's like, I'm so sorry. I gotta kick you out. I
No.
gotta kick you out. Oh, guy, I gotta kick you out. You're being disruptive. I think the thing with Taskmaster is they ruined it by getting that man to be her stunt double, and it made it so ridiculous when she took
Right.
off that fucking helmet and it was a 90-pound woman. But then they had John Cena as her, and from then on, I was like, how could I ever take you seriously? How could
Listen. I believe in Taskmaster. I can't even say the name. God damn it.
that's how much you believe in her.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. Well, I do. The part that I'm annoyed about is that it's a lot of the suit programming and not as actual skills or abilities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or
Yeah.
her skills and ability. I feel like a real Taskmaster should not need a suit, and maybe we'll get a new Taskmaster when this person gets crushed or on fire, whatever the shit that was going on.
Voided.
Definitely. You think Taskmaster is gonna get voided?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I think
Are we
they're
placing
gonna
our
go ham
bets
with the
now?
void stuff.
Okay, Derek thinks the Taskmaster will be sent to the void. Stefania, what is your bet on the death of Taskmaster?
On how?
Yes. Because we all agree that she's not going to make it.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'd like to see the Void too. I feel like that is kind of like the more obvious answer. I don't know. She might just be like stabbed or something, or just one and done. Kind of like a quick way. She's going to go in a quick way.
Okay. Frankie, what is your bet? How will Taskmaster die?
I don't think she's gonna die.
Really? Are we all just fooled by the trailer images?
I don't know. I don't think she's gonna die.
Okay.
I think it's a bait. I think it's a bait and switch. They know you're gonna look at every moment in the movie.
It could be.
Out of the trailer.
It could be. It is
true.
a little too obvious. It was like the trailer came out and it was like, yo, where's Taskmaster? Like that was like the first thing everybody was talking about.
I'm a good convincer.
Okay.
Yeah, be like, yeah, maybe.
We'll see. I think it's gonna be really weird. I think they're all gonna show up in that room, and then, boom, like a bomb or some fire burnt to something you can't outrun or dodge, and dead. And then Florence Pugh will feel bad about it for 2 seconds, and then we'll never talk about it again.
Man, wasn't it?
That's true.
Star-Lord survived space, beat out in space for 10 minutes.
That is true. Why didn't he have his helmet?
He put it on somebody, didn't he?
He put it on Yondu.
Oh, Yondu, yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
Yondu,
and the
Yondu
third
was
one.
dead.
And the
I'm
third
sorry.
one.
And the third one.
Yeah. He put it on someone. Remember they were
He
evacuated?
put on Gamora in the first one.
In the first
one, he did. In the second one, Yondu had the little Space Force field that went around
Oh.
Star-Lord.
Maybe
gave
on
him-
one of the
Yes,
children.
in the third one, he jumped. He couldn't make it. He jumped. Remember, the ship was,
Right.
It was blowing
like there
up.
was, yeah, and he jumped. He couldn't make it.
He just didn't have it. He just
He
didn't
just
have
didn't
it.
have it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which is
Why
so
didn't he-
silly to me. It's
All
like
because
Spider-Man.
they switched their uniforms, remember?
Yeah. But here's
Yeah.
the thing. If you're going to have the classic Guardians uniforms, please put the Star-Lord helmet on.
Hold on,
Like,
but
come
it's the
on.
Yeah.
It's like the
You know?
behind the
Oh,
ear.
you're right.
little-
No, I haven't seen the movie in a while. I really feel like he put it on somebody. Or maybe you're right. I'm
In the
thinking of the
first one.
first one. Damn.
You think of the first one, I think, yeah,
Damn.
because it was Gamora.
There's a reason why he didn't have that mask on. They wouldn't just him not
Yeah,
be
the
like,
reason
oh.
was they needed to do that scene.
very true.
I heard the word on the street, and correct me if I'm wrong, Frankie, you probably got James's number.
I don't.
But I heard the word on the street was James Gunn destroyed the mask in the second Guardians movie. He's like, we're done with the mask. The Russo brothers brought it back for his appearance in Infinity War, and then James was like, well, I my intention was to never use the mask again, and so he leaves it on the nightstand when everything is going on with Adam Warlock and Rocket's about to die. So it's like he's hurrying out, right? Which I think is very dumb because Spider-Man would never lose his web shooters.
Star-Lord would.
Star-Lord would never, or Captain America would never forget his shield. I think the mask is that iconic to the Star-Lord character, but I'm not James Gunn.
Yeah, I don't know anything about James Gunn's beef. The only one I knew was of Gamora, where he was like, why did y'all kill her? I was not gonna kill her. This is kind of crazy. And then he was like, well, I'm gonna give her a go away story. I don't know. That sounds plausible though, he was like, I'm done with the mask. That also doesn't sound like James Gunn though. He's very what's this called? He's very comic book that's his whole thing. But maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look.
Maybe.
But
Well, I
also,
like it.
People think I know James Gunn. I do not.
You do.
I don't know him. Not personally. He knows my
She only
name.
knows Sean.
I don't know. I do know Sean, actually. I know his wife. I did her panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and then I did another one for her short film. So I know Sean Gunn, but James Gunn, people be DMing me, emailing me, asking me to ask him things. I'm like, y'all, I do not know this man. I don't email him. I'm on no calls with him. I did interview him, but that interview, he hopped on, we interviewed, and he hopped off. And the one conversation we had was actually about Guardians of the Galaxy. I met him at the Penguin premiere, And I hadn't announced that it wasn't announced that I was on a DC podcast. And he sees me. He's like, where do I know your face from? And I said, I made a video about the High Evolutionary not giving After Earth credit about making new things because they created crack and you liked it. It's what I told him. And then later when we did the interview, he was like, why didn't you just say you were on this podcast? And I told him I signed an NDA. So that was the most we've ever spoken, like, non-professionally.
What?
Yeah, like,
Yo, that guy.
What?
He's like, who the fuck did we hire? Why did he?
Oh no!
That video, he did like that video though. That was my first James. It was a good video. It went super viral. They all liked it. DC liked it, and it was very true. I think Marvel liked it too. The High Evolutionary was not giving them credit, and they made crack, so they could create things if he gave them some time. There were some real scientists on there. They were just down on their luck.
They had that man in the alley whooping them.
We gotta cut the feed. We gotta cut the feed. Frankie, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a wonderful show. Where can the people find you on the internet?
Absolutely. You can find me on all platforms at Fantastic Frankey, or you can watch my podcast, the DC Studio Showcase, anywhere that podcasts are available on Max's streaming service or Max's YouTube. And I personally have a show called Fighting Words, which is on my YouTube as well. So check them out. I be yapping.
Nice. We will see you guys next week. We'll be talking all about Captain America Brave New World and all the other stuff that happens this week. I'm Justin, that's Derek, that's Stefania, and we are still scrolling. Good night!